Okay, so here we are. We're gonna build a Roto Tom Bass Drum out of another 18-inch Remo Rototom. So we're gonna build this out of this. This is a Latin Percussion Gajate cowbell bracket. So I think it's model LP388. It's the older model. The newer model is not like that. So we don't need much tools. Here's the Rototom rod that goes in the middle of the 18-incher. It's the common thread anyway, right? So here's what it looks like. So you can see the LP bracket. I just added like a atomic clamp, a microphone rod, and I just set up the 421. So as you can see, you can point the 421 inside. You can see the bracket. So basically, the cowbell pedal bracket becomes a bracket for the Rototom. So I mean, it's not really tuned, but you get the point. You can actually tune you can turn the 18-incher and tune it up, tune it down. That's what I use in the other Roto Tom Kit video. It's going to be in the description if you want to check it out. So I have a 16-incher on the video, so this is how I'm going to make the 18-incher. So I'm going to end up with two 18 Rototoms. Alrighty. So in order to do this, I'm going to move the 18-incher over here. We're going to have to take this baby apart. So remove the pedal. Pedal is removed. Remove the cowbell. And now I got the bracket. So this is how it comes, right? This is the former model of the LP388. So, you know, you can adjust the thing, blah, blah, blah. Goes up, goes down. So for now, I'm gonna have to remove it. Okay, now we got this out of the way. So this is the pretty much hard to see, but that's the Rototom standard threaded rod. So I got an extra bolt. I got some some lock nuts, some washers, and that's the one that's gonna go at the back to hold the Rototom. So basically here, this is gonna fit right here in the Rototom. So it's not made for this, so it doesn't fit. It just won't fit right in the middle unless you really wedge it. So the rod doesn't wedge, it does come in a bit, but it won't go, you know, you have to really force it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a file, and I'm going to try to make the top slot here a bit bigger so that this can fit here. If you can see, there's like a half-inch space between the end of the slot and the top. You could, if you wanted to, drill a hole here, right in the top part. Drill a hole here, but you know, me, I think if being here is going to be okay. So since the rod is not fitting, so we'll use a file. I'm going to try to file it so the threaded rod goes in. fit. Try it again. Oh, see. Now the rod fits. So before I screw in the Roto Tom, I'm going to put a washer and a lock nut. Actually, I'm going to use the other one here. So this is going to go. It's going to go right here, and then I doubt the other washer is going to fit there. As you can see, the other washer, hard to see here, but the other washer won't go in this slot. So I'm just going to put the lock nut for now. So I got the lock nut here, and then we put the Rototom nut. So this is going to adjust how much the thread is going to go in the Rototom, because the further the rod goes there, then the pedal, when it's going to be screwed on here, the pedal might rub against the bottom of the Rototom. So we want the Rototom to be as far back to the bracket. So here we go. Let's remove the tools here. For now I'm going to loosen this. So now I'm almost at the farthest point in the Rototom. So now, as you can see, everything's kind of loose, but the Rototom is on the pedal bracket. But you want the screw to be as tight as possible, so the bolt here is as the farthest it can go inside the pedal bracket. So now what I have to do is tighten the outside bolt nut. I mean the outside nut with a Westcott. So now it's pulling back the Rototom rod against the bracket, and now the lock nuts are going to do their job. So the tighter the better, because vibration is going to have this probably loosen up if it's not tight. So you got to make sure you got a lock nut on either side. So as you can see, I still have like a 1/4 inch gap here, so the Rototom could be farther to this way, like farther away from the pedal. Even the legs the lug screws on the Roto Tom, I still have like a quarter inch here, so I could tighten the whole Roto Tom, so it's going to be farther away from the pedal. So the spikes on this end, the spikes on the LP bracket, this is what makes the whole thing flat on the floor or not. So if I loosen the spikes, and now the bracket is on the floor, so there's no space. So I'm just gonna tighten these two for now. So now the spikes are tight. So now we're gonna put the pedal on. So we'll get the tools out of the way. So now we got the pedal. So now we're gonna know if this is gonna rub against the Roto Tom. So I got the pedal mounted to the bracket, so I'm gonna tighten it. So what it does, the pedal's gonna lift the LP bracket off the floor, right? Now, as you can see, the pedal is on the Roto Tom, and nothing is rubbing. I mean, here, if you can see, I can have my hand going between the sprocket and the Roto Tom, and nothing from the pedal is touching the Roto Tom. So I got the beater set up for a 22-inch bass drum. So yeah, you can have like the beater down a bit because it's sitting like about 2 inches, about an inch to 2 inches off the middle of the Roto Tom. So now the pedal is rubbing. You can hear it on the rim. Now it's not. So now we got a Roto Tom bass drum. So now you can see in the back, the bracket here is from the LP pedal bracket. It's really solid, so it's not really bending. It's not bending. It's like pretty solid, I think. So there's some shaking going on, but it's really sturdy, and you just lift it up, and there you go. You got a bass drum. The LP bracket, I found both on Reverb, but from different occasions. I paid like I think I paid 50 US for one, and I got the other one. I was looking for the other one, and then it was like 60 US, and I bought it. They're both like almost brand new. There's some out there. There's sometimes on eBay, but they pop up on reverb.com. But it's easy way of making a bass drum out of an 18-inch Roto Tom, and you can do it with a 16-inch Roto Tom as well. It'll be the same thing. You'll have more giveaway here to adjust the height. It's the same setup. So now, here I have that comes with the LP bracket. It's to hold the cowbell, but I'm using it as a microphone rod, and this is, I'll show you what I did. Kind of tricky to get the wing nut in there. So now I have the cowbell bar. Oh, it could have been a tambourine there with the LP bracket. So what we're gonna do is tighten this, and just for the sake of doing this, I'm going to take it off the other one. So basically, this is kind of easy. So what it is, it's the Tama. It's a Tama bracket holder. So it's got one hole on the side here. Adjustable. So what I did is I found a microphone, an old microphone stand, and I just cut like around a 6-incher. I got 6 inch. I kept the thread for the microphone, so I screwed it in the 421. So as you can see, screws it in the 421. So basically, the bracket, the Tama bracket, probably out of focus now, but it has a smaller hole. It's got the big hole here and a smaller hole on the side. So that's what I use. I use a smaller hole, and it goes right here. So I put it at the farthest point as possible, since the 421 is a long microphone. So for now I'm just going to put it up, put it in a Tama bracket. It could be a Gibraltar bracket. I mean, they make, I think Gibraltar makes them as well. So now, as you can see, I have the microphone holder on the Tama bracket. So if you're gonna have the bass drum already tuned, you tune it in place, and then you put the 421 between the two spokes, and you'll pick up a really good sound. So as you can see, like, I have the microphone ready. So the cool thing is you can raise the microphone up, you can put it down, depending on what sound you want. You know, like here I can raise the whole thing, put it to the edge, put it to the middle. If I put it like this, I can have the 421 like about, let's say, 2 inches from the batter head. So man, you sort of get a punch out of it. So here we go. We got 2 bass drums going. I'll sort of show you both from front. The 2 bass drums from front. Actually, this is going to need to be tightened up. I'm going to tighten. And then the 2 bass drums from behind. So like you see, now you see I have 2 bass drums. The one on the black one I'm going to have to work. I didn't have lock nuts on this one. So for this project to show you, I put lock nuts and it's really solid. I mean, it's actually more solid than the first one I did. So I'm going to tweak this one. So you can see what I did on the Monster kit. I have the YouTube link in the description. Alrighty guys, we made it.